Good morning, it's Harvey Jackson. We're just going to go through just a touch quickly on the StatsCan, and then we're going to move on from there, talk about the weather, possible drought areas, that kind of stuff. So Kyle put this out yesterday, just looking at the StatsCan number, and it's StatsCan estimates that's going to come out at 7:30 is around 11.85 million metric tons at December 31st. And the Copa Crush number we know at 4.1, and the exports is going to be what's going to be the guess to see if those numbers are actually going to match up with the shippings that we're seeing at 3.166. So backing it all up, that would make it about a 2.5 or 2.05 million metric ton carryout. So I'll just highlight that area right there. And then if everything comes in line with the 17.8 that they actually had for estimated yield, it could mean a little bit of bullish sentiment. And this is the number that's actually going to be paid attention to. So let's move on from there. U.S. jobs numbers coming out today, and what's the attention is on how the effect has been since Trump has been in. So we'll see if there's any real big moves here. Palm oil has set its third weekly gain. A lot of this is because of the Ramadan demand, and whether it will continue. There's decreased supply as well. Another article that I pulled is the global food prices. You can see that their sugar prices are like the whole index is down by 6.2% than it was a year ago, but well below the 2022 level. Sugar price is down 6.8, vegetable oil price is down by 5.6, and meat prices in January down 1.7. This article also pointed out, now there's another article to kind of follow, is food. FAO has forecasted a decrease in cereal utilization this coming year. And you'll see in this next article, they're actually talking about which countries. So there's Indonesia has expected better rice production. China is already starting to cancel more orders because they have good corn production, so less feed demand. And Egypt. So those are all the top importers on the planet for wheat. Has already started to slow down, and some of this could be just because of just weaker demand and weaker population as well. So here we are just looking at the drought monitor, starting to pay attention to this. I usually don't pay attention to it all winter, but you're starting to see a build of dryness in some of the winter wheat growing areas, and that's what all I'm going to really pay attention to. But I will run through some of the other crops here. So just another drought monitor source coming from NASA. So winter wheat, basically unchanged from the previous week, but it's a lot lower than it was last year at 14% drought. So that's the part that I'm paying attention to. Corn areas, you can see there's a area there that's in drought. It's not severe drought, but it's in drought. And same thing with soybeans. And then you get spring wheat. There's some drought in there as well. And again, this doesn't matter until spring planting, those last three crops. But this one here does matter as it's breaking dormancy. It's going to need some soil moisture. So I'm starting to pay attention to that. So you got winter wheat over here. You've got more winter wheat over in this area too that we're going to have to pay attention to. Black Sea and Europe. I showed the map there yesterday. It's pretty dry over there for soil water. You can see here that there's still moisture hitting northern part of South America, and there is a little bit of a band here that's coming into Argentina. And you can see it here on this map that there's some band in there, some moisture still hitting where the harvest is trying to progress in that area. But what maybe is more significant is the amount of heat that Argentina is getting. It looks like it's going to be a fair bit of heat there. Canola is up 3.5 to 2.5 ton changed on new crop. Rapeseed is down a little wee bit. Soybean oil is slightly down, and palm oil is up like 93 ringgit. Crude palm oil is up a little, or crude oil is up a little bit. Soybeans down, and your spring wheat's 1 to 2 cents down, and same with corn. So if we look at the canola chart zooming in, you can see that we actually broke through that line that I put on there yesterday. Which is a good thing. This is probably the next level that it's going to have to pass over is the 61.8 retracement value. But it's supported as of today, that's for sure. And we might get a little bit of a lift if we can get some StatsCan news there that's going to be favorable. So there's no guarantee that it's going to be favorable, but I think the stocks are getting tighter. So if we look at November, I did shift this line down, and we are approaching the 78.6 retracement value, so that's a good thing. Rapeseed supported, still going up on this last little wave here. But when we look at it on rapeseed priced in Canadian dollars minus the front month canola, we're actually breaking through a fairly long trend line and currently sitting at $118 more expensive. So this would be a first hurdle, and then maybe possibly $80 would be a fair market value as well. Soybean oil still going sideways. Really no story there. Nothing happening on the renewable fuels. So it's kind of trying to find a direction on its own. Canola crush demand has just dropped off one day to the next, and that's partly because the price of the seed went up. But what's interesting is where you see the price that it was a year ago. Palm oil, like I said, it's got another little hurdle to pass. It would be this previous high back in late December that it needs to pass through, because it made it through the 61.8. Currently trading above that, but now you have to get above that past high. Soybeans, still holding an uptrend, but it definitely has these pauses as it's going up here. If it breaks that line, it's got some room to go down. I would say somewhere in this area that would be the first leg that it would kind of stall out at. Canadian dollar, really no news if we were to take that out. It really doesn't want to do anything. And if we zoom in and have a look at this, this was the inauguration. This was the Trump tariff, no tariff, because that's what made this length over here as well. It was tariff, no tariff. And this is currently where we're trading. So if we break through this 78.6, 69.72, we're probably going to get into this range over here. It's possible. And that would be probably the bottom of some of these areas as well. So just keep that in mind. Wheat's had a pretty good run. It continues to have a run. Needed to probably get above this area here, 640 to 650, and it would break this blue line, which is your trend line, long-term trend line that I have. And I showed that yesterday a little bit as well. But yeah, even though it's red today, it's still a pretty good uptrend. What we have been doing is, with wheat is actually a pretty good build in this new crop. So looking like 23 cents is what we need to gain on the back month there, December 25, before sales targets should be starting to get looked at there as well. Hard red wheat, same kind of scenario there, but we could see some more potential there if there's any weather concerns, and that's why I was showing the weather maps. Milling wheat, still going sideways, really not doing a whole lot here. But if there's a weather concern, that one will break out too, because a large portion of their wheat crop in Europe is getting some direction from the weather over there. So if there's a weather problem in Europe or even Black Sea, it's going to be showing up there. Chicago, laggard. Here's your corn market, still not wanting to get above that trend line and stick it. So you're starting to get this plateauing kind of a scenario here as the market has come up there. And StatsCan report is today, 7:30 Central, and we'll be reporting what those numbers look like and how it's going to act in the market.